papal funeral Saturday.
Today's news.
People felt hugged by him. Defense Secretary under fire.
White House officials insist the Pentagon boss is not going anywhere.
Religion versus education at the Supreme Court.
What type of information public schools can provide to children?
Good morning, I'm Peter King with a CBS World News Roundup. Pope Francis will lie in state at St. Peter's Basilica starting tomorrow. The public will be able to pay respects until his funeral on Saturday. Our team coverage begins with CBS News correspondent Seth Doan.
Clergy and Vatican insiders got a private chance to pay their respects to Francis. This intimate service was held in a chapel at the Santa Marta, the simple Vatican hotel where Pope Francis lived and died. American Cardinal Kevin Farrell blessed Francis's body and presided over the traditional sealing of the Pope's official residence. Farrell is the so-called Camerlengo and is in charge of the church until the next Pope is chosen.
There is a sense of a void that is somehow going to have to be filled.
John Allen is the editor of Crux, a news site specializing in the Catholic Church. He notes in those meetings starting this morning, nearby cardinals will soon be joined by those from around the world.
The really important part of these meetings begin when cardinals begin giving programmatic talks about where they believe the church stands and what the profile of the man is needed to carry it forward. Now, let's be clear. These are not the Iowa caucuses. Nobody's going to be standing up barnstorming on behalf of their preferred candidate, but this is as close to political sausage grinding as we're going to get.
St. Peter's Square has been filled with people paying tribute to the Pope. Reporter Rich Lamb is there.
Rivers of pilgrims, some led by a cross-bearer, are flowing down the Via della Conciliazione here into St. Peter's Square. It's a vast human tribute to the late Pope Francis. The people have come to say farewell to a Pope who in life, to his last day, showed his love to be among the people. Rich Lamb for CBS News, the Vatican.
In early trading this morning, stocks have shown big gains one day after huge drops for the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P index. Those losses blamed on President Trump's trade war and his criticism of Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. He called Powell a major loser for not lowering interest rates, says he wants him out. More from CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
The Federal Reserve is supposed to be an independent agency. It was created by Congress in 1913. Why is that so important? Because we want the Federal Reserve, the nation's central bank, not to be pushed around by politicians. We have a real crisis of confidence. Right now there is a trade that is going on, not just selling stocks, but also selling the U.S. dollar. U.S. dollar fell to its lowest level in 3 years. Usually when you have tariffs, the dollar rises. This tells us that the international community is selling America.
The president has encouraged foreign companies to invest in the U.S. The Swiss drug maker Roche says it will spend $50 billion over the next 5 years here to create 12,000 jobs. High-tech research and development, manufacturing in California, Indiana, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania. The defense secretary is on the offense, attacking the media and what he says are disgruntled former Pentagon employees trying to sabotage him. CBS's Ed O'Keefe has the latest on Pete Hegseth, the fallout from the signal chat on strategy in Yemen that included family members and his attorney.
President Trump is standing by his defense secretary Pete Hegseth amid fresh scrutiny of the Pentagon chief. He is doing a great job. This time, it's revelations the secretary used his personal phone to share details about impending strikes in Yemen. The Pentagon doesn't deny the reports. It says no classified information was shared. The new pressure on Hegseth comes as 3 of his top aides were fired on Friday amid a leak investigation at the Defense Department. But the men claim the attacks against them are baseless, writing they still have not been told what exactly we were investigated for. Meanwhile, the president is defending Hegseth's moves.
You know, he was put there to get rid of a lot of bad people. That's what he's doing. It's 5 past the hour.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. It's 54 degrees in Livermore, California. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cab News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that.